Dai Young's Chargers have been setting the top flight alight in the new year, but they were tamed by Sale back in January and were also kept under wraps by Gloucester a fortnight ago. Sale were on song coming into the spring period, but in recent weeks they have blown very hot and cold. So for Wasps, Simon McIntyre set to make his 100th appearance in the black and gold shirt. Sam Jones captains the side in the absence of the injured George Smith. The Wasps' backline remains unchanged for the fourth successive week, with just one change in the pack. Nathan Hughes starting at 8 in the place of Smith. Sam Jones moving to 6, Thomas Young to 7. Steve Diamond's made 9 changes to his starting lineup that lost at Northampton last weekend. In the backline, Tom Brady and Nev Edwards replace Tom Askett and Will Addison on the wings, whilst Johnny Leota and Mark Jennings take over from Sam James and Sam Tuitupu in the midfield. Up front, Mark Easter comes in for TJ Ioane at number 8. Magnus Lund's preferred to Cameron Neald on the blind side, with Jonathan Mills taking over from Bryn Evans in the second row. And the final changes come in the front row, where Brian Mujati and Neil Briggs replace Vadim Kobias and Tommy Taylor at tight head prop and hooker respectively. Gopeth in his first season from Leinster, lining up against Danny Cipriani and Stringer. The halfbacks for Sale as Gopeth gets proceedings underway here at the Ricoh, and immediately a huge leap from Nathan Hughes to win that ball back for Wasps. Fantastic start for them. Robson immediately into his runners. James Cannon is one of those. Robson looking for the ball, flicks it out to Gopeth. Not much room, but Hughes doesn't need much room. Pops it outside of it. It's going to be a try for Charles Piutau in the opening minute. The dream start for Wasps, created by one of those marauding Nathan Hughes runs. He only needs the ball to come at him with a little head start to build up that head of steam into the contact. Strolled through one tackle, and then he had the support of Charles Piutau and Rob Miller, but Piutau was able to go himself. A 5th try of the season for the New Zealand international, all created by the man who could be well wearing an England shirt come the end of the summer. Well, Wasps have been scoring tries for fun this season. That's their 45th in the Premiership. Come into this game in 3rd place in the league, and they are looking to put pressure on those top 2. Jimmy Gopeth has been kicking well so far this term. 80% from the tee, 53 converted, 13 missed. Straight away, he's on target here, and Wasps have the dream start. Wonderful run, Nathan Hughes, and he had the support that he needed. Steve Diamond will not have been amused by the way that started. Ball kicked downfield, Christian Wade takes it in. Nev Edwards, the man coming in to pick it up. Exit strategy from Wasps has been far better this season. Dan Robson able to pick out a decent looking touch.
Line's yours. Line's theirs, hold the gap.
So line out on halfway.
How many guys? 7. Stay in 15. 10.
Neil Briggs, the man starting at hooker. Cameron Neald will be his replacement. He's been playing in the back row so far this season. Ball off the top of the line from Ostrikov to Stringer. Pops the ball back up there into the hands of Mark Easter. They went backwards to their own 10-metre line. So they'll have to create something. They haven't been scared of flinging the ball around. Cipriani with a flat pass into midfield with their own wrecking ball. Johnny Leota takes it into contact. Stringer onto that open side. Cipriani hoists the up and under. Rob Miller is underneath it. Another former Shark. And cuts back inside. Sets the ball well alongside Harrison. Robson looks to get them on the front foot again. Gopeth whips it out to Nathan Hughes. His pass, didn't see him look, and it's Very nearly kept in play there by Tom Brady, just unable to get a boot on the ball.
That's you.
Well, wants to have a look here. That was the suggestion coming through from Charles Piatow. The referee should be having a look to see exactly what's happening in this line-out, whether it actually should be a Wasps ball, because it came off the boot of Bradby and Brady and went out into touch, but the decision was that it was already over the line.
Play 10.
Briggs, and that ball claimed off the top of the line by Kiernan Mile, who has executed now 5 line-out steals this season into midfield, and both of the Piatows love to run from deep. Served up from Young, lovely slick hands to get it to Christian Wade. He dances back inside up against Danny Cipriani. They'll of course be wearing the same club colours next season. Robson, Jones in the line, plenty of numbers here. Piatow to Hughes, once again Hughes looks to take on Seymour.
No hands out, lost!
Kiernan Mile drives over it, Robson again, Gopperth. Defence up very quickly indeed. Sam Jones drives up towards that 22. Explosive start. Gopperth with a bit of space. Tried to put the grubber through. Ball actually sits up and almost brilliantly picked up. Frustration there for Mike Haley. And an apology from Jimmy Gopperth, who knows that perhaps he should have kept the ball in hand rather than trying to dink it through for Christian Wade. Dropped it onto his boot. Haley, the man, coming up with it. If that hadn't come off Haley's boot, then there would have been a very large hole behind. So close to picking it up and getting away.
No, Bill, see back to position level. That's 22, Ash. Seconds, come on, seconds. 8's on, please. Crouch! Bind! Set! Eyes on,
Dean Richards, let's play, go on.
Use it!
It's a good one against their head there, and considering that they're ceding over 60 kilos in the pack, so they'll be very happy with the way that set has gone, but not so happy with the way they're being exploited when play is open. Piatow keeps it alive, gets it away to Charles Piatow. He's got support inside, if he should find it, which he does, and Rob Miller scampers over for his second of the season. A second for Wasps inside the opening 10 minutes, and they are laying waste to Sale whenever they get the ball into the hands of this unchanged backline. Siali Piatow getting the ball to Charles Piatow and then flicking it up into the hands of Rob Miller. Rob Miller in just his second season with Sale, with his second try of the season. Last one came up against Saints on the 29th of January. What has been a real purple patch for Wasps this season. Jimmy Gopperth has not got that one to come back in, so 1 from 2. Dai Young will be a contented man. Kiernan Mile knocks that ball forward. Magnus Lund comes up with it. We'll start this one for Magnus Lund. Second start of the season. Galloping down that short side goes Jonathan Mells. Ball set well inside the 22. They do need to find a comeback quite quickly here. Nev Edwards not ready for the pass there from Cipriani. Actually, Johnny Leota.
Eight. Just keep a shoulder on. Just make sure it's on. It's difficult to get back. You got rid of the ball. It's fine. Yeah, there's no rule to say left, but just till up so you can get in the gaps.
So it's a big day for Simon McIntyre.
Shoulders open.
Ashley Johnson playing hooker. Played hooker all season for Wasps in the Aviva Premiership.
Bind. Set.
Not one appearance in the back row, but he is a utility back. Placement for Sale, similar as well. Once again, good nudge from Sale, but this time Nathan Hughes picks up and is flattened by Leota. Ken Mile looking to battle forwards, and Ostrakov manages to hold him up. Robson again going down that short side, where this time Thomas Young leads the charge, taken down by Magnus Lund. Ashley Johnson burrows forward.
Not
really going anywhere at this stage. Wasps up there sucking up a few defenders. Piatau dancing across through the midfield. Jimmy Goppert saw a little half gap there.
Five
However,
blocking.
It's going to be
contest.
A penalty against Kiernan Mile. Not happy about it.
Okay. Dan, we're outside if you win it. Numbers? How many, David? 7.
Neil Briggs. David Seymour supports Mark East to the target there in the line-out. Drive forwards.
Stay.
Harrison stands over the ball with Briggs. And Jonathan Mills as well.
Let's go.
Mills picks up
Bounce
and
up.
fires his way forwards. Pick and go again, this time from Ostrakov.
Tackle.
Sale managing to stay inside that 22. It's a great pick up from Cipriani from a very unsympathetic pass. Ball comes back and they're going backwards. Stringer untidy and given away. Jake Cooper-Woolley fires forward with support from Ashley Young.
Let it go, 7 now, let it go. Too slow.
Dan Robson. Useful looking kick, and he finds a very good touch indeed down on the edge of the 22. Ashley Johnson with the support play there, quite superb after that burst forward from Jake Cooper-Woolley. And every time that Wasps execute a turnover ball or manage to create a little opportunity, they're bursting through gaps in what is proving to be a very porous defence from Sale so far.
How many? 5. Say 15.
Oh, Kiernan Mile has already stolen one line out in this match. Sale under pressure on their set piece. Magnus Lund is the man who collects it, and the maul is formed.
One backwards.
Driven forwards. Ball in control here with Jonathan Mills up towards the edge of the 22.
Say more.
Continue to look for it.
Take him back in.
Long pass out wide. Brady dances across the defensive line but can't get away from Jimmy Goppert. Stringer looks at his options.
Taken in.
Cipriani clears long centrally. Christian Wade should be able to scoop this one up and think about leading a counter charge. He's got support as well. Pops the ball back inside to Rob Miller, who comes up against Harrison on halfway. Robson once again juggled with the ball there from Piatau. Keeps it alive for Robson. Fired back now for Simon McIntyre. Up to the gain line once more. Just need to break through that defensive line and they're going to create plenty of opportunities again. But
holding on first,
not releasing the ball is given against Sam Jones. And possession ceded once more by Wasps.
coming on first, had good impact on the ball, then he was pulled away.
Touch found by Danny Cipriani.
Okay. Time out. Time out. Player in the way for both sides. Yeah, we've got time out.
Coming into this match, Wasps 2 points clear of the Northampton Saints, 3 points above Leicester Tigers, 7 points behind the Exeter Chiefs. 9 points shy of Saracens, of course. Dai Young will have both of those top two teams in his sights. And present opportunity of certainly closing the gap on Exeter, who trail against Northampton. Sale are on the same points as Gloucester with a game in hand, 5 points behind Harlequins. However, Quinn's failure to come away with anything more than a bonus point yesterday, highly disappointing for them as far as their push for a top four finish is concerned.
No, I'm cool at the moment. He's sloshing around. Good to go? Break the gap. How many? How many? Full.
Siali Piatau making his way back into the midfield. Best attacking position that Sale have had in the game so far. Magnus Lund, the target again, off the top to Stringer. Cipriani with a flat pass into Leota. He's held up by Siali Piatau there in the midfield. Flung again, Briggs looking for a little half breakthrough. He had Haley on his arm.
Forcing the hole. Accidental. That man forced the hole, ran into each other. Scrum accidental. Created the hole.
Accidental force hole coming from Haley support there, and it will be a scrummage then to Wasps. Haven't looked altogether too comfortable in the set so far. Pack weighing in at 930 kilos for Wasps as opposed to just 861 for Sale. Sharks scrummaging that much better so far.
Square long bottom, please. Thank you. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Good control this time, looking for the penalty and rewarded. Jimmy Gopperth sends a steepling kick down towards Sale territory, and he's found a touch midway between the halfway line and the 22.
Yeah, it's you.
Ashley Johnson, absolutely no chance. That was straight. Poor line out, and after scoring those two early tries, Wasps have gone off the boil. Execution's been poor. The sunshine of the vernal equinox shining down here in Coventry. Those opening 6 minutes certainly suggested that we were going to see the Wasps have laid waste to Tigers, Quins, Saracens in recent weeks, but
Crouch.
a little tamed in the last few minutes.
Set. Early before the ball.
Wasps going down early. Free kick awarded, taken quickly by Easter.
Move 6. Thank you. It's fine.
By Young, kept in hand. Ostrakov fighting hard here up against Jimmy Gopperth. Great power yet again from Gopperth. Has to let go of it in the end. Harrison driven forward by Nev Edwards towards halfway. Boot goes in. Turnover from Wasps. Nathan Hughes to Ashley Johnson. Johnson manages to ship it out wide towards Wade. Dan Robson missed out there. He'll be annoyed knowing that his acceleration certainly could have created something, and Christian Wade doesn't release. And another penalty conceded by Wasps. Well, they managed to get themselves into a position here whereby they haven't conceded any points for a few minutes. Now Sale need to look to try and score some points of their own. Front of the line taken by Jonathan Mills, who went down quite heavily. Referee doesn't look too interested in that. And then the ball was loose. Wasps have managed to turn this over.
Ball's available. Happy Paul?
Happy, it was his own player.
Out into the line. Flicked passes just take it so swiftly out onto that left-hand side. Miller cuts back inside. Had the support of Christian Wade outside him. Jimmy Gopperth once again looking for that little gap. Taken quite high by Easter. Robson down the short side into Wade again. His power takes them up to around the 10-metre line.
3 yellow, never onside.
Once again, Ashley Johnson over that gain line. Penalty is coming to Wasps when they want it, but it's Halley. Another of the wrecking balls bursting through, still Halley. Big tackle from Haley to take him to ground on the edge of the 22. And they're coming back for the penalty. Brian Majati, the player at fault.
On me, further towards the far touchline. Where you are.
3. High-sided player, no advantage.
We arrive at the end of the first quarter here, and it's Wasps 12, Sale 0.
Paul, play drops you. Yeah. Okay, have a look. We didn't think so, have a look. Okay?
He was dropped by his own player.
No
Penalty.
Penalty marks.
Already there.
Yep. How many? Let's go. 7. Full.
Can Ashley Johnson get his line-out throwing correct on this occasion? Mile, front of the line.
Okay, move!
Taken down, they form them all well here, Wasps.
One sidewards. 8. Let's give it. Yes, please.
Dan Robson told he's got to use it. Jake Cooper-Woolley nearly ran into him. Flat pass into the midfield. Siali Pietau sets it up. Halley comes into play, scrum half. Jake Cooper-Woolley carries it forwards. Now Nathan Hughes. Well marshalled and charged back there, but he sets the ball well. Seymour comes flying out. Offside. Penalties coming to Wasps here unless they can create something else. Lovely little pass into Charles Pietau. Dan Robson back under control. Robson, flat ball into his skipper Jones on the edge of the 22. Nothing is coming though.
On me, Dean, on me. Where you are.
Dean Richards will award what should be a very simple penalty here.
Go.
And I imagine that it will turn to Jimmy Gopperth to kick them into a 15-0 lead.
Just look at this. Right.
Push him back 10, Dean.
10, guys. 10.
Should be on the 5-metre line.
I thought you made contact with the player first. I thought you contact first. David, I'll look at contact there, but make sure he's on the ground first. Good band, Trey.
So Jimmy Gopperth from in front of the posts on target, 2 from 3. The Wasps fans relatively content. They lead by 15 points to 0. Nathan Hughes just content to run and crash into defenders all day. Most carries in a Wasp shirt this season. And Robson clears away nicely up to around halfway. 177 carries coming into this game, 678 metres made, 11 clean breaks and 37 defenders beaten. Well, he's added to those statistics and then some in the opening 22 minutes here at the Ricoh this afternoon. Creating a try. 2 scored so far by Wasps. 1 from Charles Piatow, 1 from Rob Miller. 1 conversion from Jimmy Gopperth, 1 penalty.
How many? Full?
And with just around 15 minutes to go until the interval, the score remains 15-0. Oh, nice break from Leota.
Advantage.
Good tackle from Christian Wade, and it went forward off the Samoan, who is furious with himself.
Let's go. There's your mark. Maintain the gap, it's good so far. Crouch! Bind! Set!
Much more solid in their last 2 set scrummages, and Nathan Hughes had to tidy that one up at the back. And Robson with a grubber kick through, picked up by Haley. He hoists the up and under as Sale look to come back at speed. They're up there to take on Dan Robson. Haley was unable to come up with the ball though.
Hold him up. Good.
Thomas Young into the hands of Nathan Hughes, yet again carrying forth. Jimmy Gopperth. This is an interesting little nudge. Brady collects it and tries to flick it back inside of his arm, but it goes out into touch. Carefully marshalled by Charles Piatow.
Line's yours. Yeah, no worries. Come on. Same for both sides, just speed it up.
Off the top of the line again from Mile. Lovely ball into the midfield where it's collected. Gopperth finds Halai.
Contest is good. The turnover's great.
Turnover, but then charged down by Nathan Hughes, who comes sprinting through on Brady. Flung across desperately to Haley. Now tries to keep the ball in hand. A very firm hit there. And another just knocking backwards. Charles Piatow with 2 massive hits there.
Tackle!
Sale not back
No
into
black.
their 22.
7 black in from the side.
Side. That's
Stringer
okay.
can take it quickly. Looking for Nev Edwards. Edwards up against Christian Wade. Many people keenly awaiting that confrontation this afternoon. Stringer again.
Hands on the ground.
Ostrakov carries the ball up to around the 10-metre line. Flick back inside. Haley. Little chip through. Chased there by Nev Edwards.
Hands on the ground, then on the ball.
And the referee's decision is to bring us back for another penalty here.
ball popped out of the back before it went up.
Oh, very little for Steve Diamond to be positive about in this opening half. Briggs to the back of the line. Lund. Seymour.
Oh.
Picked up, and Ostrakov goes forward another yard and a half. Lund
Knock on by yellow.
spills it forward. Another unforced error, proving costly for Sale.
Line up, was ball's posted or man in front to make sure he doesn't grab him in. Yeah, I know, that happened. Yeah. That's why I didn't do anything. Just communication. Let's go, guys. Let's make sure just shoulders popped out, number ones, please. Crouch! Bind! We're engaged there, first one.
And head on head, and head on head.
We've got a little bit of head on head creeping in, and we've got the hookers engaged, so let's just give it a bit of space. Both sides balance. Get the big oaks to hold not to push you in. There's the mark, that's the mark, let's step off it. Okay, I'll leave my foot there, now we're comfortable, let's go.
Dan Robson waits to get the ball in.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Dean Richards walks away. Dan Robson can finally get the ball in.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And a penalty won yet again by Wasps at the set.
Angle and hinge.
No, don't do it. There you go, guys. Angle. Oh, look. That's good. Look. We're trying to high bind. It's not a problem. Penalty good.
That's a good touch found.
That'll be clearer to see. That'll be clearer to see from that. I'll make sure we've got a gap. There you are, that's great. 5.
Ashley Johnson picks out Sam Jones well in the line out. Gopeth, and they come at pace. Nathan Hughes taking it into contact, held up by Mills, Seymour and by Cipriani there, but he still managed to twist them over and get the ball back.
Man on the floor handling. Penalty.
That's going to be a penalty to Wasps.
On the ground. On your feet before you play it. Ball became available.
Just not getting away with it.
No, listen. Moore was cool, ball became available, hands on the ground, he must be on his feet. He's got called in. Your two's got to be disciplined as well. I've spoken to them, have a word with them, it's fine.
Just the one blot on the copybook of Jimmy Gopeth in this first half so far. That penalty stretching the lead once more. And the Wasps fans sitting relatively comfortably up in the stands so far this afternoon. Their team have scored 2 tries, they've kicked 2 penalties and a conversion, and they lead by 18 points to 0. Robson into Hughes, building up more of a head of steam there. left and under. Haley, lovely delayed pass into Brady in the end. Play up to halfway. Short side, Briggs, Ostrakov. Harrison this time. Cipriani, it wasn't a great pass behind him. And knocked forward by both teams, so they'll come back for a scrummage this time. Wasps ball.
Dean, stay this side, look at angle of one yellow.
Let's not get lazy on the gap. Crouch! Bind! Set!
Another penalty ceded by Sale at the front row, and once again it is given against Ross Harrison.
Coming out. One, coming out. He's gone first.
Not going to be the first time that Ross Harrison's been substituted because he's being out scrummaged, if that is indeed the course of action that Steve Diamond decides to take.
David?
Yes?
No, because they've got nudged forward first. Okay, yeah. Six.
Edge of the 22, Sam Jones the target, gets the ball straight back to Thomas Young, back inside to Dan Robson, beautiful little move off the training ground, Robson to Ashley Johnson, they've got numbers over here, Gopeth senses the line, goes charging for it, takes 7 to hold him up. Finally gets it back, Dan Robson tries to wriggle through, now needs the support, Wasps sense that third try is on its way.
Driver, no hands!
They got options right and left. Thomas Young flings it long to Christian Wade, who knocks forward. Brought clear now. Nev Edwards.
Advantage over!
The advantage is over, but what a chance that was for Wasps to get their third try. Mark Easter ducks back inside. Sale looking to bring this clear.
Advantage in the way.
A real excuse
In the way.
for there to be any mishandling of the ball this afternoon. Perfect conditions for running rugby. Well, Young flung the pass. It wasn't a great pass to Christian Wade. However, I still have the feeling that Christian Wade would have backed himself there to take the catch and zip round the outside and score.
Yeah, okay.
Dean, we've got a blood change, please.
Yeah, mate. Blood change for 7, please. Time back on.
Thomas Young strolls off. Ball collected by Magnus Lund off the top of the line. Mujati. Lund again.
Let it go.
Cipriani back inside, another knock forward, this time from Johnny Liotta. That is the third time I can think of the Samoan knocking the ball forward this afternoon.
Scrum. I'll go the other side. For me, they've gone forward and then it's gone back one. Not in my opinion, they weren't. There's not a discussion. I am watching. Not a discussion. Let's scrummage.
Alex Reeder, this player who's come on for Thomas Young, off for the blood bin.
square and stay close. Crouch! Bind! Set!
Robson held up.
Both went lower. High. Bring your feet up. Let's go. Crouch! Bind! Set!
Yet again, Sale penalised. And Ian Richards wants a word now.
His feet where he can maintain his weight. He's got to bring them up. That's too many penalties. We've no choices. That's it. Off you go.
Dean, 1:44 left.
Thank you very much.
Under 2 minutes left until the half-time whistle then. A first half dominated entirely by Wasps. And Ross Harrison struggling in the set. Trots back as Jimmy Gopperth finds another touch down on the edge of the 22.
Full.
Ross Harrison's going to have to watch himself as well if he returns for the second half. Mile just manages to cling onto that one. The maul is formed and Wasps are in good control of this one. Ashley Johnson at the back has the ball. Ostrakov has to peel off and get away. Biggs trying to bring down his opposite number.
Slowed it down.
Change the bind and jump round.
5, change the bind and slowed it down. Yes.
Change of bind from Andrei Ostrakov.
5.
He goes
Changed it, slowed it down,
back by 10 yards. It's a penalty to Wasps.
Yeah.
And with the clock counting down, they've elected to go into the corner.
Step out. With him, please. Step. Get across. Thank you. Make sure you don't get in front.
Line-out ball taken by Kinner Mile, and Wasps are in firm control of this. Ashley Johnson with the ball in his hands. They drive towards the corner. Johnson goes down for the third try, just on the stroke of half-time. And a miserable afternoon for the visitors. Sale Sharks gets even worse. Scoring tries for fun as part of the back row in the last couple of seasons. He's been shored up at hooker this term, and that's only his second try in the Aviva Premiership. But it is one that nudges Wasps one try away from another attacking bonus. Also 47 tries now scored by Wasps this season. Gopperth middles it and ensures that there is only one miss in the first half from his boot. A second conversion added to go along with his two penalties. Tries from Charles Piatow, Rob Miller and Ashley Johnson mean that it is a very handsome lead indeed at the break. Wasps 25, Sale Sharks 0. Danny Cipriani to get us underway in the second half. Wasps leading by 25 points to 0 here at the Ricoh. I don't think there were enough hairdryers for Steve Diamond at half-time to have exacted just the pounds of flesh he would have required from his players to get them into a better shape in this second half. Straight away on that left-hand side, Frank Halley leading the charge, and Robson saw a little gap, neat little chip over the top from Robson, bounces beautifully for him, cuts back inside. Haley makes a crucial tackle, he's got no support, somehow still manages to get it back to Thomas Young. What a brilliant piece of opportunism there from Dan Robson, but it's turned over. Well, reminiscent of one of the final tries he scored
in the air, guys,
the
be careful.
cherry and white colours of Gloucester.
Black hole!
Didn't quite get the sidestep inside this time. Sale with the penalty, and now with the line-out ball, which is claimed by Mark Easter in the line.
Off his leg, black one!
And another
Side,
penalty.
Side.
David, are you aware the clock stopped, mate?
Say again? What's that?
No, the clock was stopped, mate. It's all right.
Okay.
Carry on.
I see that's there. 8. There you go, time to count. 6. Discipline.
Collected well, and led forward by Easter once more. Popped out into the path there of Ostrakov. Needs to be more purpose about Sale in the second half. Penalty advantage, and the captain is called across here by Dean Richards.
You must have discipline to break down. Now go and talk to the players. Right, please. Just talk. Yeah, that's good. Up and down, guys. Absolutely not in the air, though. Discipline, not underneath.
So a good attacking position this for Sale at the beginning of the second half. Is there any way back in? Easter again, the target in the line out, collecting it well, wheeled round the back. Seymour in possession of the ball. And the ball goes back to Majati. They've gone backwards once, so they're going to have to play this quite soon. Harrison. Stringer looking for it, flicks it out to Lund. Picked up by Ostrakov, goes very high. Jake Cooper-Woolley. And another penalty, and the card is reached for. And it's Jake Cooper-Woolley who's into the bin for 10. So Sale camped on the 5-metre line here from the Wasps try line, also have the penalty, and now they have a numerical advantage.
Same thing, not in the air, please. Don't hold him up there, it's fine. 6.
I haven't got a black hooker at this end.
Okay, you have now.
Ball collected by Easter once again.
Ooh! Once.
Driven forwards. Wasps not with that many there. Sale up to the try line. Held up just short. Stringer looking at his options.
Hands off the ground! Offside!
Penalty coming, could be another yellow card coming as well here. Stringer releases the ball. Danny Cipriani, flat pass into Brady. Brady tries to loop it over the top to Nev Edwards, up against Christian Wade. Edwards. Wade tackles him well and prevents him from scoring the try.
past the offside line.
However, Sam Jones is told there will be another penalty.
You're 15.
Hands on the ground past the offside line. Yes.
Another nudge to the corner. Another chance
Think, guys.
for the driving maul.
Not early.
Visiting support in really good voice here at the Ricoh, as their side press for their opening score of this match.
One backwards.
Great drive from Wasps to repel the initial charge. Stringer in control though.
Still moving.
Onto the front foot. Appeal around the outside. Harrison's there as well. Biggs help support. Ball stays in the hands, and diving over the line goes David Seymour. Sale have one back at the start of the second half. They also have another 8 minutes with Wasps down to 14. If they could get another try or another couple of scores, then that would certainly change the complexion of this game markedly. One-way traffic in the first half. Thus far in the second, it's been one-way traffic, but in the other direction. So David Seymour going over his third try of the season, first since he scored against Worcester on the 20th of February. 197th Premiership appearance he makes this afternoon. Danny Cipriani, who has not enjoyed a great season from the kicking tee, with just 57% on target, with a fine conversion to Seymour's try. So 18 points the difference. 25-7 the score.
Time it. Time it. Play on.
Ball taken in by Lund.
Oh, you good.
Up and under from Cipriani. Christian Wade is going to be under a lot of pressure there, and
play
it
on.
goes backwards towards Jimmy Gopperth. Haley's unable to bring him in. Good power
Not
once
out,
again
no.
exhibited by Gopperth to keep this one alive. Christian Wade playing scrum half. Flicks the ball off. Driven forward by Thomas Young.
Tackle!
Tackled well by Briggs. Dan Robson back in position. He gets it out to Pietau. That's the early version of the two brothers in midfield. Then Rob Miller into the line. Popped off again. Sam Jones this time. Nathan Hughes. He manages to break through the tackle. Recycle quickly. This is where Wasps like to use the ball, with Hughes taking three men in. Rob Miller. Frank Halley.
Tackle!
Gopperth, flat pass into midfield. Served up there on a plate. James Cannon.
Same as over there.
Sale not
That's 10.
going away, and taken quickly by Robson, and Robson fancied his chances, digs it over the top. Robson running for the line, brilliantly covered back by Danny Cipriani, who showed great acceleration but doesn't find touch. And now Rob Miller, with play very open, could fling it wide. Gopperth gets it to Ashley Johnson, who knocks forward with Nathan Hughes outside him. Another frustrating moment for the home team. Well, Dan Robson, of course, currently deputising, although he probably wouldn't like to see it that way, for Joe Simpson, and with an electric break straight out of the Joe Simpson book of breaks. Little chip, and Danny Cipriani with really fantastic acceleration to get back and win the ball back there.
Yeah, good when you're off.
Hold the hit. Maintain it. Spring and shoulder. Let's go, guys. Come on. Hey, I understand.
Yeah, mate. One sail, if you can, please, Dean. One sail.
Time off. One sail's been called, please. Time's off.
Well, Ross Harrison penalised at a series of set scrums in the first half. Finds himself replaced early here. Doesn't look happy with the decision at all. James Flynn, the man who's come on to replace him.
Crouch! Bind! Time is off. Haven't had an issue. Think about it. Time back on.
Change as well being made here.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Frank Halley's gone off. And on in his place is Phil Swainston. That's because Jake Cooper-Woolley still in the bin.
Take him back in.
Cipriani keeps it in hand. Leota holds on to one for once. Haley round the outside. Lovely hands to get it inside to Nev Edwards, who comes up against Jimmy Gopperth, going for that choke tackle to try and pick the ball off Edwards, but Edwards is still going forwards. Great power there from the winger to take play up to the 10-metre line and over halfway into midfield, where Flynn tackled well by Cannon.
Eye contact 10.
Back here.
It is another penalty given against Wasps, whose discipline has been woeful in the second half so far.
You're 10. You're 10.
7 sail, please.
7. Who's captain?
David Seymour needs to be replaced.
5.
Thank you.
4, sorry, Dean. 4.
Jonathan Mills, the new captain.
Four's captain.
It's TJ Ioane who comes on in his second season from Otago, playing here.
Discipline here, guys. Hooker, 2 and 2.
Beautiful collect off the top of the line, and once again looking to get this maul working. Ioane brought to ground. McIntyre was involved there. Carried forward by Easter once again. Looking to rip it away. Ioane takes it in against Mile. Cipriani, good hands, bursting through the middle. First real chance for Mark Jennings to run. Lund drops his shoulder and has a charge. Ioane manages to keep it alive. Straightens still. Ioane fights forward up against Robson. Not much of a match-up there. Stringer, pace and taken, and bursting through goes Briggs. A second try for Sale. Scored by their hook and heel Briggs. He hasn't scored a try for over 4 years, all the way back to May 2011, when he went over against Gloucester in a previous spell here. He stretches forth past Mile over the line. It's 2 tries with Wasps down to 14, and Steve Diamond isn't smiling on the outside yet, but hopefully there's a little something to warm the cockles on the inside after that dismal first half performance.
Game on here, boys.
Not a good chance to impress his new employers from the kicking tee. Pulled wide of the far post. Danny Cipriani, 1 from 1. Jake Cooper-Woolley makes his way back onto the field of play. But 12 points have been scored by Sale with him in the bin. Wasps cannot afford any more ill discipline in this second half. If it's Sale to score next, we are very much game on. Still 13 points between these two sides, but Sale have scored all of the points so far in the second half as Jimmy Gopperth prepares to get us back underway. Deep restart from Gopperth, collected by Leota. Then to Cipriani, who put that rather off the outside of his boot, even though he has found a decent-ish touch up towards halfway.
How many? How many? 6. Stay in the 15, guys. Both of you. Inside the 15.
Ball taken off the top of the line by Jones. Gopperth, a little flat pass popped in there in midfield where Ioane had to be alert to make the tackle, but
that's okay. Counter ruck is good.
Still have the ball, although the counter ruck has been good, and TJ Ioane can reach over and pick it up, and Danny Cipriani flicks off the outside of the book, and Nev Edwards is charging through on it. Jimmy Gopperth looks to take on Edwards, then Lund. Ball goes backwards to Christian Wade. Robson. Halai had a bit of a breather before deciding to charge the ball into contact. They've got a penalty coming. Robson can't get the pass there into Miller, and so they will come back for the penalty to Wasps, and this will come as a welcome moment to alleviate the pressure somewhat. Gopperth can put the ball deep down into Sale territory.
First man and prevent the contest. Didn't get it. We're outside.
Into the front of the line. Nathan Hughes, the man who used as the line-out jumper. They've formed the maul. They've got the advantage here, Wasps.
Sideways.
Thomas Young is the player in possession at the back there. Dean Richards is going to come back, and he penalises Andrei Ostrakov, and a chance here for Wasps to nudge the ball right down into the corner. Now remember, they scored from a driving maul from a 5-metre line out just before the interval. And they've managed to turn things around very well indeed after that resurgence from Sale at the beginning of the second half. Need some points though to show for it. McIntyre, the man making his 100th appearance in a Wasp shirt this afternoon. Steve Diamond will be hoping and praying that his team do not concede from this line out. Johnson plucked out of the air by Cannon. Stay on their feet, applying the brakes and now applying the accelerator. Wasps rumble ominously towards the line. It could be a second for Ashley Johnson. Didn't quite manage to get over the line. Gopperth leaps over, and it's Jimmy Gopperth who scores the try bonus. Only his second try of this Aviva Premiership season. The first one came in the rout of Saracens back on Valentine's Day. A match now known as the Valentine's Day Massacre after they humbled the current leaders and the champions by 64 points to 23 at Allianz Park. But here he appears to leap round the corner. And on the day of the vernal equinox, he sprung forth. Well, a crucial score as well, because it brings to an end that run that Sale were having. Adrenaline pumping through his veins. Jimmy Gopperth on target with the conversion as well. 32 points to 12 the lead. Ashley Johnson having a breather, replaced by Carlo Vestuccia. Not a bad man to have coming on in your stead. Alex Reader has returned to the field of play on a more permanent basis. The ball out, and the box kick coming from Dan Robson takes play up towards halfway, where Mike Haley collects it and then fires it inside. Brady will be moving to the Leicester Tigers next season. TJ Ioane, great run from him, taking play into Wasps territory.
Tackle!
On the charge, Jonathan Mills, the new skipper after Seymour, went to the sidelines.
No, not now.
Ball again into the hands of Stringer. Cipriani looking to just create a little something. Again, the knowledge here from Sale that they must score the next try. Liotta managed to get the ball back. Jennings given a rare start. Majati straightens and brought to ground by Cannon. Stringer goes down that short side. Ostrakov into the hands of Liotta again. Up against Brady. Charges forward, but held up well, and Vestuccia drives him backwards. Not quite turned it over though. All fed. Cipriani flat pass for Ioane. Kept alive, very nearly comes loose. Neville Edwards is under a lot of pressure there, and Dan Robson's the player who picks it up, and it's now Christian Wade up against Edwards. Christian Wade half away, flicked it back inside. The ball goes forward and eventually runs into touch.
I thought it was a knock on by Black.
We're going to take a look here to see, I think, whether there was a knock forward. And when Nev Edwards missed that, Robson got it away and firing round the outside. Christian Wade popped it back inside.
And 1 and 3, please.
Really clear from that angle whether Jimmy Gopperth did knock forward. Brilliant tackle from Edwards.
We're doing lots of changes. Yeah.
Simon McIntyre and Jake Cooper-Woolley trot off as Tom Bristow and Phil Swainston
12 sail.
come on.
12.
Mark Jennings to be replaced by Sam James.
12.
Brendan Macken, another player,
Scrum to you.
makes his way now
Time back on.
into the fray.
There you are. Knock on. Thanks, Paul. So,
Gaps. Can we have sail 2 as well, please? Sail 2.
Time back off, sail 2. That's where you do the extra 10 minutes. Go.
Neil Briggs
It's good on GPS.
makes his way off, and Cameron Neal, who started his professional career as a hooker, has been playing in the back row for Sale over the last few weeks, comes in to play in the front row once more.
Don't overcrowd the mark though, yeah? Still need a gap. Let's go, time on. Eights in. Crouch! Bind! Set!
Right, ball hoofed back in by Sam Jones. It's very untidy and in all sorts of trouble there. Sale find themselves penalised again at the set scrum.
No, only if it's a line out offence.
Jimmy Gopperth nudges the ball out of play.
Standing up, going on to hands, pulled it back. Hands pulled it back.
Carlo Vestuccia in and picks out his man. Now, what can they do with this driving maul? The ball in the controlled hands of Alex Reader.
He's okay, he's from the back.
Coming in to try and bring an end to that. Easter very nearly did, but Robson has it, darts through the gap. Now, did he touch it down, or was he short of the line? Casual glance made me think that Robson was just fractionally short. It didn't look as though he should have been.
Try
if
yes
that
or
makes
no.
any
Have a look,
sense.
mate. Okay.
Sean Davey, a simple question. Try yes or no. It looks as though it's on the line, so I think that's going to be good enough.
Okay. Dean?
Yep.
That is not clear and obvious that it made the line, and he lost it forward.
Scrum. Goal ball.
Correct.
No try. Dan Robson disappointed, but they will come back for a scrummage, and those Wasps fans look unconvinced, but lost forward. It's the decision, so it's going to be a scrummage here to Sale. Not that that's been that much of an advantage to the visiting side so far in the game.
Clear and obvious to the line, not forward. So off the mark, there's a mark. Off the step back, that's good. Not reached.
And there's been plenty to please Dar Young yet again this afternoon. His team free scoring, and other than that 10-minute period when they were down to 14 with Jake Cooper-Woolley in the bin, they have been clearly the better team in absolutely every facet.
Early twice. Before the ball. Second time, before the ball.
I'm
10,
not sure
5 and 9 for
about
Wasps.
that decision, because Paulo Festucci's foot wasn't the one up in the middle of the tunnel.
And 9 and 10 Sale, please.
9 and 10, please, Sale. 10. Danny. Peter.
So another change. James Mitchell and Joe Ford on for Stringer and Cipriani. Ball managed to be enveloped there by Festucci. Any chance here for Stevenson? So many players now changed over on the left-hand side. Halley tries to set it up, but well turned over by Sam James.
No, hands on the ground. Play on.
Neatly done in the midfield, but that's
Play on.
gone backwards according to the referee, but picked up by Siali Pietau. Stevenson goes onto that open side. Very quickly up to apply the pressure there. Macken taken to ground. He still manages to come up with the ball, although Sale looking to work this and turn it over, which they succeeded in doing, and it does open up now. Tackles not made. It'll show there from Jonathan Mills.
Release now!
Mitchell, Ford, flat pass into midfield where Ostrakov charges forward. Mitchell again. Leota going backwards. Brady.
Use it!
Ford, flat pass to Ioane. Ioane to James. James now manages to feed it out to Mills.
Stay gold.
Ford chipped over the top. Nicely picked up. Christian Wade keeps the ball in hand. Rob Miller much prefers to run with it than kick the ball forwards, and especially in these conditions conducive to running rugby. Wasps with numbers. Halai rides the challenge, should have offloaded, a little slow there. The ball runs loose. Decision is that it's gone backwards, and Stevenson bundled into touch.
First man was okay tackle. No, that's formed. You okay there? Oh look, put his tackle. Goal throw. Goal throw. Line out. Goal throw. Goal throw, line out. Tackle, picks it up. Is that time on? Let's get rid of the water, guys.
Inside the final quarter, TJ Ioane receiving some treatment. Wasps 32, Sale 12 the score.
Yes, play. Hurry it up, guys.
This water carrier's not going off the pitch.
That's okay, don't worry. Hurry it up, guys.
The decision is going to be that Viliami Fiacchi will come on.
Contact.
Yotta. Here comes Ostrikov. Nathan Hughes through the middle to kick.
Got an HIA for them.
HIA.
Ian Richards comes back for the penalty. Nathan Hughes wants to know what it's
You'll
for.
speak to me with some respect. Now listen, you'll speak with me with some respect or you'll disappear. HIA. Send him in. Contact in the air. The line out.
Yeah, all done. Good to go, mate.
So an HIA for TJ Ioane. Shake of the head. Hit hard by Sam Jones.
Yeah, hold on.
Was a bit late. The Wasp skipper perhaps a little lucky to get away with no further penalty, but we are back for a penalty to Sale, and Joe Ford nudges the ball down into Wasps territory.
Discipline, guys, please. Step off. How many? How many? Magnus? Full. Full line up.
Cameron Neal. The ball into Ostrikov, manages to flick it backwards, and then Mitchell finds Ford. Leota straightens, drives in, but hits Alex Reader.
Tackle!
And his first season at Wasps from the Rotherham Titans, of course. All again, recycled quickly. But they're not making any yardage at all when they get the ball in hand. Mitchell, dummy runners everywhere. Ford, flat pass into Brady. Very high indeed, and the ball from Rory Jackson very nearly seeing it smuggled back Wasps side, but Mitchell has it, and there are plenty of defenders in there at the moment. Set again, Mitchell, Magnus Lund, Ford, James with Nev Edwards outside him, can't quite get the ball away. Mitchell again, trying to drag the defenders through into the midfield on that 10-metre line. Excellent tackle of Ostrikov. Sale get the ball again though. Ford once more looking for Majati this time. Dean Richards says it went backwards. Doesn't matter though, because pouncing on into the ball goes Will Rowlands. And here come Wasps. Rory Jackson ducks back inside. Then manages to offload. Miller gets it out wide. Here's Christian Wade. Wade just one defender to beat. Wade comes back inside. Dances through tackles and goes over for try number 5. Wasp fans out of their seat. That's what they pay to come and see. Great ball retention and fantastic use of the offload. First Rory Jackson, eventually getting it to Miller, Miller to Macken, and then Macken to Christian Wade. But some very, very average defending from Sharks, allowing him to scoot through for not only his side's 5th try of the afternoon, but also his 5th effort in the Aviva Premiership this season. Kicking duties then to Scottish international Rory Jackson. He ensures a perfect afternoon so far with the boot. 39 points to 12 the score. "75 Aviva Premiership appearances from Christian Wade, 45 tries. Not a bad return. Open play, and the ball is now picked up by Siali Piatau, looking for the support. Piatau sets the ball up nicely. Stevenson into Hughes. Hughes runs through one, through two, through three. Rory Jackson again. Great pass, lovely flick ball back inside. Didn't exactly go to plan as far as taking defenders out were concerned, but Rory Jackson can bring it again. Alex Reeder sets the ball for Mitchell. Mitchell into Festuccia. Wasps threatening to run rampant here. Sidestepping the tackles. If they keep the ball in hand and don't make any unforced errors here, every chance we're going to have another try. Lovely hands to go out wide to Frank Halley. His chip over the top's a bit heavy. I think it's going to run away from him.
Option. Scrum 122. Option. Time out.
It's the classic example where you just wish a player of Frank Halley's size and skill would have backed himself against Haley.
Option scrum 122. Scrum 122. I think so, yeah. Recording scrum. Scrum. Yeah. Kick in. Fox right.
The face of contrasting coaches. Di Young beaming. His opposite number, Steve Diamond, not looking happy at all.
Time on. Crouch! Find! Set!
Ball picked up by Easter and released now. Brady with a dummy pass, gets the ball into midfield for Ford, flicks the ball along the line. Haley into Edwards. Edwards thought about a little chip ahead, then cuts back inside. Mitchell, Ostrakov was waiting. Lund is there. Brady out the back of the hand. Leota from a standing start. Never going to gain too much ground. Sam James going to get up to match speed pretty fast.
Release.
Ball there, back inside. Majati supported, ball carried forwards. Mitchell up on that 10-metre line. Forward, flat pass into the hands of Leota, and it went forward once again off the Samoan international. And his frustration is spilling over there.
Time off. Time is off. Sean,
Yeah, got you.
we just have a look at that.
Yeah, we'll try and.
I
Yep.
believe 13 gold is kicked. The black Wasp player. I don't know what caused it. Have a look. Did he actually kick him?
So just
To see
taking
the
a look
kick,
to see
okay.
if Tom
So
Bristow
he
was
caused it,
hit
he did goal
by
first.
Johnny Leota. He's had a pretty miserable afternoon. Countless knock forwards, and I have a feeling he could be in a spot of bother here if they do have it in picture, whatever happens.
Right, did you see that?
So we've got a hand on the ground for Wasps 17,
Yeah.
which is unnecessary, and yellow 13 retaliated.
Correct, but that was a deliberate kick.
So we've got a yellow card for the hand on the ground for 13.
Yes.
And a red card for 13 goal, reverse penalty.
Correct.
Okay, 13, 17.
Johnny Leota's afternoon is about to get much worse. That retaliation, a clear kick out at Tom Bristow, means he's going to be off, but Tom Bristow is going to be sent to the bin for the last 10 minutes. Johnny Leota has got an early bath. Steve Diamond with a shake of the head, but there is not really a lot that he can disagree with there. Unnecessary push down, but then Leota comes flying in, kicking out at the shins, and any form of retaliation will be castigated by the highest degree as far as the referee is concerned. And a red card for Johnny Leota in what has been a forgettable afternoon for the Saman International Centre.
5, is it? 5.
Ball collected off the top by Cannon. Smuggles it back into the hands of Alex Reeder. Pistuccia is in control of the ball. Wasps hungry for a 6th try here.
16.
They have the advantage. It'll be a penalty.
16, side entry. On the 5. Okay, yeah. Discipline, guys, not in the air. Don't get in front. 5 pulled. Don't get in front. Just in front, hooker joining in front of me. Okay.
The experience of Gala Pistuccia and hooker. Expect him to pick out his man. He does. He finds Cannon. Wasps form the driving maul. Pistuccia has the ball in his possession. He's being driven forward by Nathan Hughes. They're over the line and they have scored the try.
No try. No try. 21 building.
And then a decision comes through that Dean Richards signals that penalty goes against Jamie Stevenson. Joe Ford clears his lines.
Joining in front. Break the hole.
Well, that looks like a very, very harsh decision indeed. Especially for Siali Piatau, who would have loved that to be one to add to his tally of tries, but he hasn't got it. And in his first season, that was since joining from Yamaha Jubilo. So just the 1 try, but that looks like an incredibly harsh decision from referee Dean Richards. Led forward, Haley, and he's backing himself against Rob Miller. Miller recovered well there, getting back, scooping the ball up.
Don't use it. Let's get rid of it, guys.
Ball picked up by the skipper Sam Jones in his 6th season at Wasps now, and they have the penalty.
Throwing it down.
So just over 2 minutes to go. The clock continues to count down. Touch found up around the 10-metre line. Charles Piatau with the catch and lobs it back into play. Well, Piatel, the man who got it all rolling back in the very first minute of the game with Wasps' opening try. There have been scores from Rob Miller, Ashley Johnson, Jimmy Gopperth and Christian Wade. 4 conversions and 2 penalties makes the score 39-12 at present. 2 Wasps, David Seymour and Neil Briggs with the 2 tries for Sharks. Ball well collected from Will Rowlands. Just his 4th appearance of the season. All of them coming off the bench for Stuchak. Stevenson to Rory Jackson. Big long booming passes across the field to get it into Rob Miller. He manages to keep it alive. Stevenson again, Rory Jackson again. Great support play. Looked as though that was probably forward. And the referee and his assistant concur.
Time off, head injuries.
11 Wasps off for the Sim movement.
11. Okay.
Frank Halley once again is going to have to make way here just to allow for a replacement forward to come on so the scrummage can take place. Edwards, the player, down on the ground.
You've got blood if you want to do it.
I have a feeling that Nev Edwards is probably going to have to go off for a potential HIA after looking at that clash of heads. Also split his head as well. Back up on his feet, so the crowd rise to the occasion and applaud Nev Edwards as he trots towards the near side line.
Come on. Full pass. Go. Yes,
Jennings making his way back into the fray.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Simon McIntyre on his 100th appearance for Wasps, back on the field of play now. Wasps have turned this one over.
Black 6 playing the ball in the tunnel.
Free kick?
Yes.
Black 6, foot in the tunnel.
Sam Jones is penalised on the near side though for putting his foot into the tunnel.
Tackle! They go black. No, don't! Lost cause.
Ball picked up by McIntyre on halfway. Mitchell flings it over the top. Rob Miller flicks a kick through, and that bounces very healthily as far as Wasps are concerned, out into touch. But that is the final whistle. Rob Miller, scorer of the second try, shakes hands with his opposite number, Mike Haley. It has been another emphatic performance from the men in gold and black. The Wasps juggernaut is building up a healthy head of steam. They travel to Falcons next weekend, whereas it's a home tie against Tigers for Sale. But Wasps cement their position in the top 4 with this victory. They pick up another bonus attacking point with their 5 tries scored this afternoon. Steve Diamond, his side are going through a very rocky patch indeed. Other than that victory against Quins, They really have been unable to churn out the regular victories that they were doing at the start of this year. Wasps, so it's all celebrations. The tries coming courtesy of Piatow, Miller, Johnson, Gopeth and Wade. The final score, 39 points to 12.